Fantastic news. The Social Security Administration recently made the shocking announcement that direct deposits totaling $5,500 will be made directly into the bank accounts of those who receive Social Security benefits, Supplemental Security Disability Insurance, or benefits from the Department of Veterans Affairs for veterans. Greetings from Updates area. Your reliable SSI, SSDI, and VIA recipients are among the elderly in America who can receive the fourth stimulus payment and the most recent information about Social Security from this source. Assuming everyone is doing well, let's get right in. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video. It makes me happy and help me to give you happy news. This is essentially a special gift from the government to assist those who truly need it right now. Include those who are elderly and rely on Social Security benefits to pay their monthly expenses, those who are disabled and depend on SSDI benefits to make ends meet, and veterans who valiantly served their country and are eligible for hard-earned through advantages. In light of the current state of the economy, this unexpected kitty inflow will feel like a much-needed breath of fresh air. Since you're all eager to learn more, let's go into the specifics of who is qualified for these $5,500 straight deposits, the steps the Social Security Administration will take to ensure you receive your benefits, and, perhaps most importantly, when you may anticipate receiving the additional funds in your bank account. We'll go over everything in detail so you are completely informed about this evolving scenario. Every step of the way for decades, seniors, people with disabilities, and other recipients of Social Security retirement benefits, disability payments, supplemental income, and veterans' compensation have grown accustomed to the government's monthly check, arriving on a very predictable schedule, like clockwork. But in an unexpected move, it will undoubtedly affect millions of homes in America. What's driving this very significant calendar adjustment, and what does it imply for you specifically? The Social Security Administration recently announced that they are changing the whole payment schedule and when all of this money will hit accounts each month coming forward. The burning question we will attempt to answer is whether you are one of the approximately 65 million Americans who get Social Security disability benefits or other comparable federal payments on a monthly basis. According to the Social Security Administration's official release, the modified payment schedule will look like this for those individuals receiving monthly Social Security retirement payments, including SSDI recipients, retiree survivors, and individuals with disabilities. Your payments will now arrive on the fourth Wednesday of the month. This is applicable to both the group born on the 1st and 10th of the month and the group born on the 4th of the month. 10. The disparities made for Supplemental Security Income, SSI, recipients depending on their dates of birth are disappearing. From now on, the third Wednesday of each month will see the deposit of your payments. This applies to both individuals receiving standard SSI benefits and those receiving a combination of SSI and benefits from Social Security. Meanwhile, recipients of certain other federal benefits managed by organizations like the Office of Personnel Management Railroad will see payments arrive in their accounts on the third Wednesday of each month for veterans of our country receiving compensation pensions or other benefits from the V. This reorganization may also have an effect on the Retirement Board and the Department of Labor. According to the agency, the SSA is basically streamlining most of these significant government payment streams and benefits programs down to just 2 days every month, Wednesdays and Thursdays. Compared to the somewhat antiquated systems they had been using, this approach creates greater efficiency and cost savings while offering much more consistent and predictable payment delivery dates across all of their various programs and benefits. You see, the SSA had been using a payment calendar for literally decades, mostly on the recipient's birthdays or other semi-random fixed dates, which made sense in the days before internet payments and the need to print, sort, stuff, and deliver paper checks that required several weeks to process. After realizing that the staggered approach to direct transfers was becoming increasingly antiquated and ineffective, the Social Security Administration realized they could update their processes, lessen the need for manpower, save a lot of money on operating expenses, and all around lighten the load and streamline logistics by combining numerous payment schedules into a small number of them. of monthly deadlines. But their primary goal is to increase institutional effectiveness. On the plus side, having a more straightforward, uniform timetable focused around just 1 month's benefits, payments will have a trickle-down effect on the more than 65 million Americans who get these vital payments each month. Compared to the previous schedule based on birthdays and other dates, the third Wednesday and 4 Wednesdays may actually make things easier for many beneficiaries to keep track of. Instead of having to remember a bunch of different payment days, most people will just need to expect payments to drop on one of those 2 Wednesdays, which would aid beneficiaries in more accurately planning and budgeting. But millions of households will need to adjust to a new monthly income schedule on top of the temporary bumps and unexpected repercussions caused by this sudden calendar shift. Brief notification: if they were strictly relying on a specific delivery date for their mortgage, some beneficiaries, particularly those who are living paycheck to paycheck or on highly fixed incomes, may encounter delays, payment gaps, or timing shifts that briefly leave them short on funds, bills for medical care, and other commitments. Although the SSA has promised to give all beneficiaries enough notice before the first payment is made on the new schedule, there are reasonable concerns that the change could still cause a lot of confusion, including missed or misdirected payments, overdraft fees, and difficulties managing money. Both large and tiny recipients adjust to the modifications. Similarly, if there are any hiccups in the scheduling of those meager benefits, the 8 million children and non-elderly people with serious disabilities or extremely low incomes who depend on SSI as a key lifeline are also severely vulnerable. Yet, for those who are already finding it difficult to put food on the table and keep the lights on, even the smallest disruption in the flow of this revenue might mean going without food, falling behind on utility bills, or, in the worst-case scenario, facing eviction and homelessness. Situations disability proponents are correctly raising concerns about how the shift might, at the very least, momentarily interrupt this crucial source of income for some of the most vulnerable members of society. Another worrying possible knock-on effect is the possibility of electronic payments becoming problematic or creating capacity issues for banks and other financial institutions. Financial regulators have urged banks to be prepared for the synchronized timing of all these previously scheduled deposits. But if they are completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of millions upon millions of direct deposits, all dropping on just those 2 designated days, instead of being staggered across multiple weeks. In theory, staggered payments might be too much for certain smaller institution systems to manage without any issues. The modified income schedule might completely upend some households' financial management plan, beyond simply logistical and technological limitations. Many beneficiaries have purposefully spaced out regular bills. Transfers of accounts, payments, and other money flows around when their monthly government benefits expire. But because those pay dates are shifting suddenly and with little warning, recipients might need to start over and rebuild their budget, calendar payment schedules, and overall cash flow strategy from scratch, realizing the possibility of significant financial. This shift will cause some confusion and interruption. The Social Security Administration, SSA, and the federal government are attempting to implement a multifaceted approach to assist and protect beneficiaries during the procedure, in addition to their commitment to provide all the SSA notifies recipients of their first payment date under the new calendar, and states that it has backup plans in place to guarantee the receipt of any payments that are misdirected or to cover any misdeposited money that is delayed during the transition period. Any money that is already in transit and scheduled for delivery under the schedule. The previous timetable should continue to appear on the scheduled dates. Additionally, the agency has set up a unique web portal, opt-in text messaging system, and dedicated hotline so that perplexed beneficiaries may promptly verify payment dates and report any abnormalities they encountered during the first few cycles of the program. Fresh calendar. While the most immediate impact of this payment date consolidation is currently the reduction to just the 3rd and 4th Wednesdays each month, the SSA promises to promptly remedy any reported no-shows or payment delays by getting those payments provided as quickly as feasible.